What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, another one for my sun sign series. We're in the Libra sun season, so I'm doing sun in the sign of Libra today. Haven't been doing many other videos lately because I've been doing a lot of writing and astrologizing and philosophizing sort of behind the scenes lately. But there's going to be more content to come in the very near future. And took extensive notes on the sun sign Libra that I'm basically going to read from. Again, there are really only a handful of things that each sun sign has in common. The sun, remember, is our ego personality. So it's not something that you can and should completely dissolve, but the ego is really meant to be integrated with those deeper parts of yourself. It's really your outgoing personality. Once you've broken the ice with people, once you're somewhat comfortable, in a social environment, it is how we really want to show up in the world. It's how we want to be seen, and it's the light that we are shining onto the external landscape, so it's really how we project ourselves. It's kind of what the ego does psychologically. And Libra is one of the cardinal signs of the cardinal modality, and that really indicates its role, the role that it plays. Cardinal signs tend to be more leadership oriented, and they tend to be a little more big picture oriented. They like coming up with ideas and sort of putting things into action and leaving other people to deal with lots of the details. That's what Libra really likes to do, as well as the other cardinal signs. Not that the other cardinal signs don't like to work, I mean, Capricorn, for example. But as far as like taking care of all the inner workings of things, Libra tends to be more big picture than detail oriented. It's a cardinal sign. And I'll just begin reading this because this is where I began. Libra is an air sign. It's the air element, which is to say that it is an extroverted energy. The air and fire signs, I don't really like to say are masculine. It's more accurate to say that they're outwardly focused and projective, which is to say that they're more extroverted, while earth and water are more inwardly focused and introverted, right? One's not better than the other. They're just kind of they're yin and yang type energies, right? But Libra is an air sign, which is to say that it is an extroverted energy. As a Libra sun, you may have other things going on in your chart which lean you toward introversion overall, but this placement means that your ego is externally focused, at least that ego part of yourself, the sun, right? It's the symbol of Libra is the scale. Libra aims for justice and balance in decisions, in the rare case that they make decisions at all, and we'll get to that. We see this clearly in the way that Libra sun people deal with conflict. Conflict is really the test of the ego, and the test of the style with which your ego projects itself. And for Libra, it values fairness and diplomacy above all, often at the expense of self-concern, and sometimes at the expense of really getting their hands dirty with the subject matter that they're dealing with. This small ego that Libra tends to have tends to put others first, and this is both their advantage as well as their downfall. They are often stuck between being objective arbiters of justice and being complete doormats, both in relationships and professional settings. Being generally very well liked is a trait of this placement, which seeks to please others. They make great party guests and storytellers. Norm Macdonald is a Libra Sun person, one of my favorite comedians personally. They are masters of clean, cheesy humor. It's really Libra Sun's go-to. But they're appreciative and receptive of jokes of even the deepest and dirtiest sorts. So they tend to be very good judges, not just of social diplomacy, but of aesthetics and humor, and things that raise amusement in us and excite us. They can toggle between surface chit chat and deep philosophical talk with relative ease. So they're very socially adaptable. This tends them toward having a diverse range of connections which blur lines between social, romantic, and professional contexts. So they're adaptable as well as versatile. Their natural charm. Libras are very charming. Their natural charm and ease in breaking down social barriers often comes off as overt flirtation. They can be very flirty without even knowing it. And this can lead to either unlimited opportunity in building social networks and connections with people, or it can lead to inexplicable difficulty in their relationships. And it all depends on whether proper boundaries are set and held to. Now, this is a difficult step in Libra Sun's growth, as they tend to put others first. They have to learn that it is impossible to serve all people equally, especially to attempt that and to also give proper attention to themselves, to their own needs. So building and setting boundaries and really sticking to them is crucial for their development. This is really where the dark side to Libra comes in, right? That attempting this type of growth, they may feel useless to the world after discovering that their own needs are actually important. And they may overcompensate for that by becoming one of the most self-absorbed egos in all of the zodiac. The resulting manipulative tendencies that come from this will manifest covertly, kind of like their flirtation effect, their charm can turn to sourness, bitterness against others. And that's really the worst place you want to see a Libra Sun person in, because their charm is really their meal ticket, But it comes with danger of becoming, abducted by and taken advantage of by others, right? So they will lack. So if this happens, they will lack any and all self-awareness in pursuit of their truth. And really what they need to be doing is focusing on the truth, not their truth, because it's not all about other people and it's not all about themselves. It's about everyone all the time, right? But they're going to be deeply unhappy if they're consistently putting others before themselves and neglecting their own needs, So they should learn gratitude, Libra Sun people. To accept that what they have is what they need and what they deserve at any given time. And that self-improvement comes by owning oneself, not by constantly leaving themselves vulnerable to being used by others, right? But by owning oneself and owning one's beliefs and owning one's decisions. And that with principled behavior will also come having to face conflict with others, which they hate, especially those for whom they most deeply care and with whom they want to maintain peace. So really Libra Sun people, at least in an ego sense, they reach enlightenment when their flighty tendencies are curbed. And they can find internal balance between when to fight with confidence and then when to walk away with confidence, knowing that they're doing the right thing, even if they're leaving others behind. It's a very difficult thing for them to do. So they're always projecting balance and fairness, right? And they're outsourcing that tendency, that value. But what they really need to do is find that very balance that their ego is striving toward outwardly within themselves. And that will come in many different forms and through many different types of journeys, depending on their moon sign and how they're processing that information, and depending on how Saturn is really aspected. Libra tends to be not very Saturn oriented. Yeah. Remember, Libra is one of the co-rulers of Venus. So it's like, it couldn't be more different from Saturn, right? So just to conclude, Libra are really pushed to their limits in a positive way in friendships with Aries Sun people, I find, who balance out their indecisiveness with fun-seeking impulsivity. And they're also balanced out or kind of complemented with Cancer, even though that's a squared sign. But in friendships, it really works, I find. I'm a Cancer Sun person. I'm friends with a lot of Libra Sun people. I have Libra Sun, their Libra Sun coming into my 9th house. So conversation tends to be very good, and we really get along on a comedic level. Cancer offers them outlets for humor and mental exploration of infinite depth, really. Gemini is a highly compatible romantic energy for Libra Sun. And so are actually most other fixed and mutable signs. I wouldn't really recommend another cardinal sign for a Libra Sun person to be in a relationship with, because there may be an ego battle, a struggle there when it comes to who is taking the lead. But with fixed and mutable signs, they can really empower Libra to be more leading and decisive and delegating, as cardinal signs should be when they're at their best. So that's my analysis on Libra Sun. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned next month for, well, the dark one. Y'all have a good day. Cheers.